In this video, we will walk through how to configure various WordPress SEO plugins to work with Page Generator Pro. By default, we support most of the common WordPress SEO plugins, including Rank Math, All-in-One SEO, and Yoast. We'll begin by configuring Yoast SEO. To do this, we'll click Yoast SEO in the WordPress menu. We'll go to the Settings section, and we'll see on the left-hand side here we have content type of the content groups. And the first thing we'll want to do here is to disable this setting because we are generating pages from those content groups. So we'll go ahead and deselect this option and we'll click Save Changes. Moving over to the content groups themselves, we'll go into the Generate Content screen, and here I have an existing content group that I've been working on. I can edit this content group, and if we scroll down to the bottom, we have the Yoast SEO section here, and we can go ahead and define some information. The slug will always be ignored, so the slug will be the actual permalink that is defined in the content group. You can find that here, so you won't need to specify anything here. The meta description is useful, so we can go ahead and enter some details here, and we can include keywords as well. If you like the analysis to work, you can go ahead and put the phrase in here, and again we support keywords. So in this example I might want to focus on ensuring that I have the service keyword here. If I wanted to make changes to the title, I can do so. One thing I would always do is quickly run through the advanced section to make sure that the content groups are not in the search engine results. I want to also make sure that my schema is correct. I'm typically generating web pages, but if, for example, these were FAQ pages or particular product items, you may wish to change the schema here. And then for social, I like to just double check that I've got some applicable titles and descriptions that may be a little different from the metadata. For example, I might just want a shortened version of the title and then a short description when this generated page is shared on social media. Once I'm happy, I'll click Save, and we'll go ahead and generate a test. And we can view the test page. If we go ahead and click Edit, we can then scroll down to the Yoast SEO section. We have the correct meta description. We can also see the focus key phrase change from the keyword to the actual term. So in this example, we've generated the web design page. I can go ahead and then view the readability tab, and we can see that everything looks good. If I then go into schema, my schema is correct, and then obviously for social, we defined a specific title and description for when this page is shared to social media, which has also been honoured. Next, we'll walk through how to use Rank Math SEO with Page Generator Pro. On the left-hand menu, navigate to Rank Math SEO and then Titles and Meta. We'll scroll down and see that the content groups are listed within post types. So we'll click that. And we can define some sensible defaults, but the most important thing to do is to make sure that the SEO controls here are enabled, and this will allow those controls to display when we're editing a content group. We'll click Save Changes. Next, we'll want to head over to the sitemap settings. And again, we see content groups here, and we'll want to make sure that content groups are not included in the sitemap. And as a quick reminder, that's because we generate physical WordPress pages from our content groups. So we want to make sure that pages are included in our sitemap, but the content groups which act as a template are not. So we'll click Save Changes there. And we can now move forward to using the Rank Math SEO functionality within the content group. Once again, we can edit our content group. And depending on whether you're using the block editor or the classic editor, the settings for Rank Math will be in slightly different locations. So when we're in the block editor, we'll want to go ahead and click this Rank Math option here towards the top right-hand corner of the screen. And this allows us to define some settings, so we can start by editing the snippet. We could, if we like, put in a custom title. So we'll do service and location city. Again, the permalink is defined by the content group, so changing this would have no effect. This will correctly change to the content group's permalink when the pages are generated. And here we can put some information for the meta description. So in this example, I put read more about design co's service keyword in location city. And once again, keywords are supported within these fields as well. Similar to Yoast, I could go ahead and make some tweaks to the individual SEO sharing options. So if the generated pages are shared on Facebook, I could have slightly different titles and descriptions and icons, the same for Twitter or X as well. If I'm happy with everything, I can close this window here. I also have the ability to again use focus keywords. So if I'd like to focus on the service, I can put the service keyword in there. I can run through to the advanced tab, make sure that we are indexing our generated pages, and we'll go ahead and click save. For those of you using the classic editor or possibly a page builder which enables the classic editor within Page Generator Pro's content groups, you'll find the Rank Math SEO section towards the bottom of the content group screen. And the settings are the same. You have the ability to edit the snippet, define your focus keyword, walk through some advanced settings and your social settings as well. Once we're happy with everything, we can once again scroll down and click test to generate a test page. We can then view that page, and if we edit the page, we'll then be able to see the metadata in Rank Math. So in this example here, we can click Rank Math. We have the keywords have been replaced by their terms, and we can see the focus keyword here. Next, we'll demonstrate how to use all-in-one SEO with Page Generator Pro. We'll navigate to all-in-one SEO in the WordPress menu, and we'll head over to sitemaps. If we scroll down, we see that the included post types include content groups, so we want to uncheck that because the generated pages are the content that we want to include in the sitemap. We don't want to include content groups from which those pages are generated. If you don't see this interface, so for example, you may see something like this, where the include all post types option has been ticked. Just make sure you uncheck this box and then make sure that the content groups is deselected. When you're happy with the changes, click save, and then we can move through to editing our content group. Once we're in our content group, we can scroll down to the all-in-one SEO settings section. Similarly to the other SEO plugins, you can define the title and meta description. So if I don't want to use the defaults, I can go ahead and use keywords again. I can also put a custom description for the meta description, and we can also specify a focus keyword, which I'd always recommend. And we can then walk through, maybe again, we want to have some different settings for our social title and descriptions. And we want to make sure that in our advanced tab that we've got the robots metadata set up. The defaults are normally fine, but if you prefer more control, you can deselect this option. Make sure that we are not, for example, selecting no index, because we want these pages to be indexed by the search engines. Once you're happy with your changes, you can click save. And again, we'll go ahead and generate a test. And if we edit our test page, we can go down to the all-in-one SEO section, and we'll see there that our page title and meta description were replaced. We hope you found this video useful in configuring some of the better known SEO integrations. We do support a number of others, including the Genesis framework, SEO Press, Slim SEO, the SEO framework, and others. We'd recommend checking out the documentation linked from this video if you need to configure one of those to work with Page Generator Pro's content groups. Do check out our other videos, particularly with regards to how best to use SEO, and our schema integration video, which covers how to use these SEO plugins and schema specific plugins to have the best possible schema for your generated pages.